Hello friends, welcome again back to this channel. How you all doing, guys? Hope you're good, hope you're generally fine, hope you're doing great, guys. Today I want to show you how to make this Milkmaid top and also the flare pan. This one is an interesting one and I'm sure you definitely like this. Trust me, super easy. Let's just dive to the drawing table. So this is my prints and of course my working tools. So I'm going to be cutting out for the top part first and I'm going to be using a pattern paper to demonstrate that. So what I want to do now is just to make draft a basic bodice right now. That's just what I want to do right now, okay? So the first marking I'm taking is at 6 inches. So this is going to represent my yoke line, okay? Yes, 6 inches. Then the next is going to be 9 inches, which is for the chest line. Then I'm indicating the bust point at 11. Then after that, I will indicate the under bust at 14. Then after that, I will now indicate what the waistline at what at 17. Okay. Yeah, so waistline at 17. So for a crop top, this is actually okay, except you want to extend this, right? So I actually use 20 inches. So this one, makes up for, the hemming allowance on the lowest part. But the beautiful thing is there's always room for adjustment. If you feel that it's longer, you can always make your adjustment, okay? Yeah, but ideally, 17 inches is okay for a crop top. So now guys, I have it already drafted out and ruled out. You can see this. So the first thing I want to do now is to indicate my shoulder with the 3 by 8 inches marker. Marking out 8 inches, then marking out 3 inches at this point. Come down 1 inches at the 8 inches mark there to get my slope, and of course I connect it right there. Okay, yeah, so this is the basic body, just like I said, there's nothing extra here. So the next thing now, I'm indicating my shoulder width of 16 divided by 2 8. You can see me marking that down all the way what to the chest line there. Then after that, now I'm going to be creating what an armhole curve. So you see that I'm ruling my straight line. So from that slope point now to the chest line, I'm just going to get whatever I have there. I'll divide it by 2. I have about 8, dividing by 2, that's 4. So at that 4 inches point, come in by 0.5 inches to create what my front armhole. So you can see doing it right now. So that's it, guys. We just have our armhole right there now. Now the next thing I want to do now is to indicate the nipple to nipple distance, or you call it the bust span. So I'm working with 8 divided by 2, that is 4. So you can see me marking that down all the way from that chest line down to the length of my top there, marking my 4 inches mark. You can see this. I actually stopped at the bust point. So from that bust point, I'm just moving up a bit by 1 inches there. So I'm stopping there. That's okay for me. So I'll come to the waistline now. I'm going to mark 0.5 inches there on both sides. You can see this. So those 0.5 inches, I'll now connect it to what? That 1 inches that is what? Above the bust point. So you can, so this is just our dart. That's what we're doing here right now, okay? Now that I've achieved my dart, the next thing I want to do now is to fix my body circumference. So for the chest line there, the bust circumference is 38 divided by 4, that's 9.5. I just added extra 2 inches there. Then on the waistline was 36 divided by 4, 9. Then I also added what? 2 inches extra there, okay? And that dart we have there, that of 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and also replace it back, okay? Yes, so that's it, guys. So going ahead to connect the points just to have our side drafting there. And we're done. So this is just the basic body, just like I said. There's nothing difficult here at all. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to come to that under bust. I will go up by 1 inches on both sides. Just watch what I'm doing. You can see on that, the center marking there, I went up by 1 inches. On the other side also, I went up by 1 inches from the under bust. Then those 2 points, I will now connect them back to that center points where we already have our what? Nipple to nipple distance. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just connecting it both there. So this is we now trying to create what? Our Milkmaid effect. Okay, yes. So now that we have this now, I'm just going to cut it out from that yoke point because that's where it's going to stop, on that yoke line. So the upper part is actually discarded, okay? But we needed to just draft this basic body so that to make it easier and clearer to understand, okay? Yeah, so going ahead to cut this out, you can see I'm just cutting through my armhole there, and of course cutting out the yoke line. And guys, we're done. This is just the 2 piece that we need now. You can see this, we're done. So what I'm going to do now is to make an adjustment on my dart there. I'm just ruling a straight dart right there because I want to hide this dart. See what I'm doing? I'm just trying to take off the dart so that when we place it on our fabric, then we don't have to, put into the dart for the front piece, okay? So you can see what I'm doing. So I'll just can use a tape to hold this this down, I can use a pin or something. I'm just using my pin to, put this in place. Okay, yes. So going ahead to do this. So after this now, guys, we're done with the front drafting after all. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now, use it now to cut for the back. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just playing because I'm trying to manage my paper. I'm supposed to indicate the zipper space, but I will take note of that when I'm placing it on my main fabric. Then I'll indicate the zipper space, right? Yeah, so you can see me just holding this down. All I need to do is just to trace out what I already have here. All right, yeah, so this one is going to be what, for my back piece. You can see this. So I'll just like to indicate my dart as well, a little dart for the back. So first of all, you can see me just ruling out the nipple to nipple distance from that edge there. Then on both end of the waistline, I took 0.5. Then I indicated what, 9 inches for the chest line. So this is just me fixing in a dart here. Of course, when you place it on your fabric, you can always do that as well. So this is just for a clearer understanding. And so the two pieces are ready for both the front and the back. So what we are going to do now is to actually create that Milkmaid effect now. So by using the slash method, right? Now for this upper part now, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches. Just watch what I'm doing. You can see me measuring 1.5 inches all the way till I get to the end of that armhole point right there. Then I'll go ahead and make a straight line downwards. Okay, just follow what I'm doing. So once you have achieved this, very importantly, you label it so that you don't get it all mixed up, because the lowest part is not straight, it's curved, right? So after labeling it now, then I'll go ahead and cut it all out. Remember, we're just doing this for just the upper part. Okay, this is where it's going to give off that cup part. So now that I have my pieces ready, I'll bring another plain paper and I'll go ahead and place everything. So I'm just trying to rule a straight line to have a better mark in there. So I'm going ahead to pin everything, but I'll be giving 1 inches interval. All right, 1 inches interval. You can see what I'm doing. Because I've already labeled it, I'm just fixing it according to the numbers I've labeled. You can see each piece I'm fixing it what, 1 inches apart. You can make it 1.5 inches if you want, but 1 inches is okay. You can see this now, and of course till the last one there, and there you have it. So now I'll go ahead and carefully trace it out like so. So once you're done creating this out, you can see that this one now is now the exact piece that you need. So this last one word is going to be discarded. So going ahead to trace it out properly, and you can see this now. We're done, guys. So taking off all those one, so we're going to discard this, and this is what we're working with. All right, so bringing it all back together, so you can see this is our new patterns already. So I'll go ahead and place them on my fabric. So you need to take notes. Remember, we're going to have 2 inches for casing, the rope casing. So I need to indicate that 2 inches on my fabric. You can see me creating that 2 inches for my rope casing before I now place it. Then I'll go ahead now and also fix in some hemming allowance. Okay, yes, so I'm tracing it out now. I'm just fixing some hemming allowance, but although what I did, I later readjusted it because I didn't need to even fix the hemming allowance, because when I was drafting it, that number was more than enough for me, right? Yes, so feel free to do what you want on the length side. So just going ahead to add the 0.5 inches on the top part and also towards the lowest part, just for hemming allowance, which, like I said, I later took it off because the length was okay for me, right? Yeah, so going ahead to trace it out. So this one is for the lowest part. Then for the back piece as well, I just had to fix in the neck depth. I didn't fix in the neck depth, so I just went down by 2 inches away from the original yoke line there, and I slanted it towards the armhole, and that's it there. Remember the zipper space, so I had to fix in my zipper space on my fabric before cutting it out. Of course, fixing the necessary hemming allowance if necessary, if you need to, on your fabric. So we're done, guys. So once this is done, I also went ahead to cut out for my back piece, and that's it, guys. We're almost done here. All our paper, our drafting is ready. Yeah, so going ahead to cut out the zipper space, and of course notching that zipper space, then also indicating the dart point just like we marked on our pattern paper. And guys, this is ready. You can see everything is ready right now. So all the pieces ready. Next thing now is to start with the sewing process. So the first thing I want to do is to cut out the lining, which I've already done. For the back piece, I use the lining. For the upper part of the front, I'm not going to use anything there, just using only the fabric. While for the lowest part, I actually just cut out the same fabric. I'm using it for the lining, okay? Yeah, so all I do now is just to go ahead and use my lining to turn it all, just like I'm demonstrating. This one is for the back, and see, just using a lining, the way we turn our tops with the lining. The only part that will be left open is the armhole part where we'll be turning it out from, okay? So this one for the back piece, so go ahead and do that. And of course, for this upper part of the front piece, what I'm going to do is just to hem the sides there, that center line there, hem both sides. And of course, I'm also going to create a casing. You know that rope casing that we created? This is time for me to also sew it, okay? Yes, so that's just what I'm going to do. And for the casing, the rope itself, I'm just using this long strap. What I have here is about 35 inches in length, then 2 inches in width. So all I'll do now is to go ahead and make my fold like you see me demonstrating and sew it. So I'm going to have a long strap for my rope, which I'll be passing through the casing. So I'll go finish all this up now and show you how it looks. And guys, you can see if this is the lowest part of the front piece, I've turned it all. You can see I've hemmed the sides, the casing have been created. This for the front pieces, and of course this for the back. Turn it out with the liner. I've also attached the darts for that part, and this is good to go now. So what I'm going to do now is to fix in my rope through that casing we created for the upper part of the front piece. So using my safety pin to pass it through. So this rope is just going to have a little bit come out outside towards the armhole, and all I need to do is just to top stitch it very well to put it in place, okay? Yes, so that's just it. If there's any excesses, I'll go ahead and trim it out. So where you actually have the rope to be flowing is on the front side. So all you need to do is just to top stitch it there, and of course by the time you do that, you can see you can now make your string, okay, your drawstring effect there. Yes, so I would repeat the same thing for the other side. Just pass my safety pin on the strap and through the casing and repeat the same thing. Go ahead and sew it. So I'm just using my pin to hold that for the moment. So once you've done that, you can see now you can create that string effect, and now it's giving us that cup effect. You can see this now looking all good already. Yes, so once this is achieved now, the next thing now is just to now sew it to the lowest part, okay? So but first thing I did was to get the center point of that lowest part, just to mark the center point. You can see I use my chalk to chalk it down. Then once I've achieved that, then I'll go ahead and sew. You can see how I'm going to attach the upper part there. I'll just make it sew it from that center point. But what I did personally, what I did was to just move it inward a bit by 0.5 inches, more like creating an overlapping effect. That's just what I did. Then after that, just carefully pleat it. You can see how I'm demonstrating this. You keep pleating it till you're able to exhaust everything you have. Everything must rhyme to the end there. You can see this. Yes, so that's just what I did. Once you pleat everything, hold it down and you're good to go. You can see what I'm doing. Once you're done, after pinning it down, you go ahead and sew it all up. By the time you sew it, then you see that you have that cup effect there. You can see this now. It's looking all good even without sewing it. So I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. I'll go finish this. And guys, this is what it turned out. You can see, making sure that you also clean up the edges of the inside. So you can see that overlapping effect there. You can see this. So this is just to make sure that you don't really have so much of the cleavage, showing. Of course, or except of course you really want to reveal it, then you might just don't have to do that a little bit of overlapping effects that I did there. But this is cool as well. All right, so this is it, guys. You can see how it's looking already. Now it's time for us to just go ahead and sew it now. So you can see the back piece is ready. I've already attached my zipper. All you need to do is just to place it right side to right side, that's front to back, and just take the measurements of the sides, and that's it. So the next thing of course to do now will be to fix the sleeve. So setting this aside, I have this for my sleeve. So all I need to do now is to also indicate what an elastic casing. I'm using 1.5 for this. So this is for my sleeve, and I'm going to be doing this for both the front and the back, the two sleeves rather. So now the actual length from the length of the sleeve is 23, that's to the wrist, okay. So I'm going to mark 23, but because it's going to extend out of that wrist, so I'll make it 27, which means I'm adding extra 4 inches. Although when I was done with this sleeve, I just realized that I should have increased it more. Instead of 4 inches, I should have added like maybe 6 inches more, okay, to really make it extend more, flow more, okay. Yeah, but if it's good to go this way as well, if you want it this way, fine. I mean, you see how it turned out at the end. Yeah, so what I have here is 27 inches. Okay, now so checking out the exact measurements here from top to the end, 30, and the width here is 14. So in case you want to use this as a template, it's just 14 by 30, right? So now from that already casing, I'm indicating 10 inches, which is where I'm going to fix my the elastic casing at the center there. Then from that point, of course, also indicate the wrist line. Okay, yeah, so you can see that this is what a triple elastic sleeve here. That's what we have here. One is going to be at the top, the second there, and of course the final one on the wrist there. Okay, so once you've achieved that, you are good to go. So what I'm doing now is just to create that armhole effect. I had to bring back the top and just place it at the edge there, you can see, and just to create that armhole effect. And I'll go in ahead to cut this out. So here we're done with the sleeve, as you can see, just a straightforward thing. There's nothing difficult here at all. I'm just going ahead to notch those points where we're going to be fixing our elastic casing there. So by the time you open this up now, it's important to notch it so that it just helps you get a perfect straight line, just like I'm doing. I'm just trying to extend the lines to the edge, as you can see now. So once I've done that now, then you can easily fix our elastic casing, okay? Yeah, so you can see on those lines that we're going to be fixing the elastic casing, but on the top part, we're just going to create the casing by sewing it like so, right? Then this one, I'll be using a strap to do this one. This is about 2 inches in width. Just fold it on both sides like so and go ahead and sew it on that line, which makes it easy. Just sew on that line on both sides so you create a casing. So you do this for the first line, then you also do it for that second line as well. Okay, yeah. So but for the lowest part, all you need to do is just to hem the lowest part, and that's it, guys. So I'll go ahead and finish this up now, and I'll show you how it turns out. And guys, so this is it. You can see we've created our casing. So for that lowest part, I've already attached my elastic there. You can already see how it's turning out. You can see how this looks now. You can see the casing already there. So once I was done totally with the elastic, you can see how everything came out. Okay, this is looking all good. So our sleeve is ready right now. So all I need to do now is just to sew the sides, bring it together and sew the side. So I quickly use my pin just to hold it down after sewing it. So once you have achieved that, the next and final thing, of course, now will be to attach it to the top itself. So at this point, you must have joined the sides of the top. Okay, then you can now take the sleeve and join it. Okay, yeah, just join it and we're good to go. It's that simple, guys. And that is it, guys. Believe it or not, we've come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you find this helpful, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that. Remember to on your notification bell so that you always get notified whenever I upload my weekly videos on this channel. Thank you so much, guys, for doing this with me. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you a lot. See you on the next one. Bye.